Good news, everybody. This is Will Phototech coming directly to you through the power of the internet. This is another late video. It's also another late video, as in it's late by two different ways. It's a few days after the announcement, and it's at 2 a.m. at night. So, that's hard work. This video is all about the recent series of news events around the PlayStation 4 Slim, the PlayStation 4 Pro, and some dribbles of news coming out every so many hours after the announcement. So this is going to be a multi-segmented video where I talk about each little bit and piece of news that popped out, and then a few details that may have been missed by various other people. But I will first start off by I'm going to go by sequence of system. So I'm going to talk about the oldest system, then the Slim, then the Pro, and I'm going to throw on at the end of that some other special details about observations I've noticed and a few other things that have popped up in the corners of the internet that other people may have missed. Sorry, I repeated myself because it's 2 a.m. and I'm sleepy. But the first little bit of news is that, first and foremost, the current model, the old model PlayStation 4, the one you got day 1, day 2, year 1, year 2, year 3, everything before the PlayStation Slim, will receive a HDR patch sometime next week. Sometime between the 11th of September and the 17th of September. And I will now tell you what HDR is. And HDR is when you're talking about TVs versus cameras, there's a difference between the two, but they are all essentially based on the same concept, the end product concept. HDR stands for high dynamic range, and it's basically, the simple gist of it is the gradient range from the darkest black to the whitest white, and the darkest blue to the lightest blue, and there's more range and depth simultaneously in the image. In the case of a TV, a typical TV could only put so many ranges of color up at a time on the screen in a set of pixels before it can't go any further. HDR essentially allows it to have a greater degree of range, even in very small areas on the TV. So it really pushes the level of detail and the range of color much higher. Even on, say, a 1080p TV, it will improve it substantially. And this patch will go out to all older-fashioned PlayStation 4s, and will be on the PlayStation 4 Slim and the PS4 Pro. Now, I basically just explained in HDR on TVs. HDR in the case of cameras is usually a series of images at different lighting levels that help create the greater range of detail, in the image, and greater range of color that are, by the way, all these pictures are composited into one final picture product. Sorry if I said picture product, but really, when you're talking about HDR and cameras, you are going into the territory of selling photos to like National Geographic and other publications. So they're really products. My personal thoughts about the PlayStation meeting was, as many other YouTubers and people have said, it's like a 10-minute announcement stretched out into a 40 almost a 40-minute period, and then bits and pieces repeated over in the live cast afterwards of the prior information with a few more bits of information thrown in. So it's basically like 50 minutes or 60 minutes, 1 hour of information that could be covered in less than 10 minutes. And a lot of just PR jargon thrown around for effect. There was actually a few words by various individuals that were just basically like, you used those words to describe this product, and those words are nothing more than generic buzzwords that people throw onto things, and they don't even accurately describe the product. Like, God, I forgot what words and I forgot the person. It was like, oh God, idiot. But anyways, the PS4 Slim was announced. The PS4 Slim is the new standard of PlayStation 4, so it will replace the old version PS4. So in other words, everyone who has the old style PS4, that line is going to end, and now whatever is out in the market of that model is what's in existence. So in case of collectors, you now have a defined number of units of the first few variations in the wild. So I collect video games, consoles, and Nintendo video game memorabilia. So that's one of those things I take mental note of whenever it happens. Is one of those fun things. The prices for the system is $29.99 US, 29 in euros, 254 in the British pounds, and 29,980 in Japanese yen. Uh, that sounds like a large number. It's just because they don't have a cent system. It's all just a continuation of the same unit. It will release on September 15th, 2016, which incidentally is the same day I have marked on my calendar for Tokyo Game Show. So we might see more stuff there and go on there. I've already talked about the HDR, and that is it for the PlayStation 4 Slim. Going on to the PlayStation 4 Pro, it's first and foremost, this is very important. It is not true 4K. It is upscaled 4K. So it's 1080p with some trickery to project up to a quasi 4K image. Not true 4K. It's like the 2K plus range. So before we go into insanity about that, it's not true 4K. It's just a little calculation trickery and image trickery to make it look much better than what the core information is in the system. So it's not entirely true 4K. True 4K is incredibly taxing even now, even on high-end PCs. So, and not very many things actually do true native 4K. Most 4K is just upscale 4K. So there we have it. It has HDR. Awesome. It is actually recommended as the best. The PlayStation 4 Pro is actually recommended as the best version for PlayStation VR. Makes sense. Many rumors speculate that the existence of the PlayStation 4 Pro is tied to the fact that Sony is releasing the PlayStation VR in the same time period. It's releasing in October. The the PlayStation 4 Pro is scheduled to release November 10th, 2016. So, stepped off. So, we get the PS4 Slim this month, we get the PlayStation VR next month, October, and then in November 10th, we get the PlayStation 4 Pro. The prices for this system is $399 US and $399 in euros and $349 in British pounds and 44,980 in Japanese yen. Details that were not specifically stated in the video but came up in other sources was still that the system is only 4.2 teraflops. That is substantially less than the the Xbox One Scorpio or the Xbox Scorpio, which is projected to be released late 2017. So the PlayStation 4 Pro is going to only have about a year of being the most powerful video game system, maybe a year at best, because we still have no clue what exactly the Nintendo NX is. And there's a possibility Nintendo could leapfrog Sony on the PlayStation 4 Pro. And Sony has officially stated, another side note, separate from the event, but came out in another interview afterwards, that the PS4 Pro is the last version, the last update version of the PS4 before anything else. So, which I personally don't believe, and I've talked about it extensively. And also, the same person has I can't remember his name, exact pronunciation of his name, but he also stated in the past that the PlayStation 4 may in fact be, the PlayStation 4 family may in fact be the last console for Sony. So the PS4 Pro is, according to him, the last system, the last version of the PS4, and that the PS4 is the last family of PlayStation systems, PlayStation consoles. And there's many YouTubers like Adam Koralik, and I agree with Adam Koralik, and several others that believe that Sony is, after the PlayStation 4 family is done, will move on to something else like a PlayStation Now box, which is just going to be a streaming device that you plug into your TV or is built into your TV, and you just simply rent games from there on into the future. So there we go. Please note that this is actual this fact I'm going to state right now is an actual fact that has been stated, that the PlayStation 4 Pro does not have a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player. It just has the regular Blu-ray. Sony's explanation for this was that they basically saw all the metrics, and they said, we're going to put our effort into streaming, and we're not going to bother with the Ultra 4K, Ultra HD Blu-ray technology. So the hypothesis me and Adam Koralik and a few other YouTubers are working on is kind of running in line with the explanation why the PlayStation 4 Pro does not have a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player in it, is because, according to Sony, they saw the writing on the wall. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player is not the future, and, well, now I'm just modifying their wording, paraphrasing as we say, and they see that the future is streaming, and the majority of the content is run through streaming. So there we go. On to the next detail. In another recent, very, very, very recent, like past few hours, Sony has stated that video game developers are more than free to charge. Stop for a moment. Charge for the PS4 Pro game updates or patches. So, in other words, if you have an old game like Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and you got a PS4 Pro, Activision can decide, you know what, we're going to charge for the upgrade patch for the PS4 Pro. No prices were stated, but it's up to the third-party developers. They could charge you a small amount for that patch to update the old game to a PS4 Pro quality image or version. Sony has also stated that they will not charge for any of their games, so you don't have to worry about any of their God of Wars or anything like that. God of War, Uncharted, anything like that, having a upgrade patch that you have to pay for to upgrade the game to PS4 Pro mode. So there we go. On to another news topic. Actually, I should bring up something I noticed. I was watching. I'm gonna shelve that news topic that I was gonna talk about and bring up something else I've noticed. I was watching the live cast from the end of the PlayStation meeting, and I noticed that you had to climb on top of the tall neck to hack it to get the map for the area, and like it dawned on me that Guerrilla Games is basically using Assassin's Creed and Far Cry and modern Ubisoft games as a template for this game. And then the more and the more I think about it is it's really just Far Cry with giant robots, or say like Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. So Horizon Zero Dawn is essentially Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, minus the 80s machismo. There, I cracked the game. It's just a reskin. But so there. Now on to the next topic. There will be no mods for Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition on the PS4, on any of the PS4 models. Sony doesn't want that kind of system. They don't want mods as they are planned on games on their system. So there you go. I don't care too much about mods, but some of them do look somewhat fun. You know, the ones that fix the errors and add more abilities and newer weapons would be awesome. But beyond that, I don't care about more aesthetic stuff and, like, you know, higher pixels and more detail, and it's just not my thing. So thank you for watching my video. Please consider subscribing to my channel. If anything trips your trigger, put it in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Give me suggestions, etc., etc., etc. Really, I'm not gonna throw rocks at people who leave comments in the comments section, because that's what a comment section is for. Hell, you could even just troll in the comments. Also, please note, I have no problem with you leaving a comment in the comment section, essentially saying, hey, can you come check out my channel, or a description of what your channel is about, if you do choose to do so. In fact, if someone flags it as spam, I'm just going to unflag it. So I'm going to approve it. Thank you very much, and have a lovely night. I'm going to upload this video, and I'm going to go to sleep, because I really need to go to sleep. Thank you very much.